All right, let me take y'all on a little trip, man. Unique Mecca Audio. I'm gonna take y'all on a little trip back through New York City, back in the late '70s, early '80s. Being that a lot of y'all don't understand what is going on, man. You know, they done seen the Vlad interview. They bugging out because they learned a little history from me. They gonna learn a whole lot of history from that Vlad interview. Big shout out to MREC. I gave the interview first to MREC. He didn't air it yet. He's still editing it. Big shout out to MREC. Make sure y'all check out MREC TV. He was a good brother. I met him. I enjoyed talking to him. You know, I took it to the brother man first. You know what I mean? But, and big shout out to Gene Deal for introducing me to MREC. Now, let me take y'all on a little joint to show y'all how this thing go, man. Back in the day, it was Heron in New York. You know, back in the 70s, that's when the Vietnam vets came in. You know what I mean? Came back with the monkey on their back and all that. You know, then the cocaine, hence the speedballing. That's when they were speedballing, mixing cocaine and heroin together and, putting it together and, so they nod out and then the cocaine would bring them back up. That's the speedball. Now, that was in the 70s. By the late 70s, that's when they had freebase, because, the cocaine came in. Then they had the freebase. When the freebasing came in, it's like it was an elite drug. At this time, it was $100 a gram in New York. $100 for 1 gram in New York. Let's get that straight. If you knew somebody, you got it for 80. But they'll tell you in a minute, $100 a gram, and you tell them, nah, man, I got 80. You go into a little apartment, and, you walk down the street, and a dude will pull you up and say, man, I got it. He take you in the building, and he's called a runner. That's a runner that runs for the people that's behind the door in the apartment. Those was really the Dominicans uptown in Washington Heights. So I'm giving y'all a little history real quick. So they say, come on, we got it, Poppy. They walk you upstairs, you go up there. They got a triple beam scale on the table, and they pull out the coke out the plastic bag, and they put what you want on it. And they got from 1 line to 10 lines. Each line is $10. 10 lines is a gram. That's $100. They give it to you for 80. The price wound up dropping when crack came out to like $10 for a gram. You know what I mean? When you buying it already cooked up as crack. So, but back then at $80 and $100 a gram, wasn't a whole bunch of people doing it. Just the elite was doing it. Hollywood was doing it. Hollywood introduced us to it. Let's get that right. Hollywood introduced America to freebasing cocaine, which later the government labeled crack cocaine, because they used that in order to lock us up for selling it, the minorities, with the mandatory minimum, saying that you had to get caught with 1 gram of crack, was equivalent to 100 grams of powder, because the white people was using powder and the black people was getting it already cooked up in a little crack joint. So imagine somebody they go buy a little piece of crack. You know what I mean? Go buy a little $10 bottle. Now, dude go buy a $10 bottle, ain't no bigger than this, and he get a life sentence. But then you got to get caught with this much powder cocaine to even go to federal court. But that's how it was. So you understand, base houses was everywhere, and they was elite. We had the 404 Club up on Broadway between St. Nick and Convent. That was the 404 Club. The address was 404 145th Street. So when y'all drive by there, big shout out to Dave East. Got his little store right there, a couple of buildings down. Go check out Dave East store on 145th, the little bro. But that was the 404 Club. That was the base house. You go up in that joint and you rent your pipe, you rent your cooking bottle, you rent your torches, you rent everything. Now, when people is up there, ain't nobody hiding, worrying about who's seeing them and all that. So you see them, and it is what it is. Because if you were doing it, you was the man. So dude say, yo, such and such was up there last night, getting high. Such and such looked like the man because he was smoking. That means if he got $100 to put in a pipe to smoke, he getting money. Maybe that's where I got the idea from. When I started with the Club 2000, I had it where if you are, if you're wearing sneakers or boots, you had to pay at least $100 to get in. Everybody else paid $40 and $50. After 12 o'clock, the price is slightly higher, depends, how I'm feeling or whatever. I might charge $300-$400 for you to get in with sneakers and boots. But the brothers with the money, they didn't mind paying the $300-400, because when they go in the joint and they go up to the bar and the females is at the bar, we talking about Club 2000, the first thing they do is they look down on the dude's feet to see what he wearing. If he wearing sneakers or boots, they know he paid money to get in, over $100 to get in, so they know he got money and that's who they need to talk to. So that's why I did that. The same thing like the 404 Club. If you was up in the 404 Club and you smoking cocaine, you the man. Then we also had the rooftop. The rooftop, big shout out to Gusto, you know what I mean? Willie and T-Rod, Booth, everybody connected with the rooftop documentary. And let's not forget my man Bump 456. Follow him on Instagram. Good brother. I met him when I went down there to do my interview for the rooftop. That joint gonna be fire. Check out the rooftop. But before the rooftop was a skating rink that y'all know about from Paid in Full, the rooftop was also a base house where all the money men used to go to the rooftop upstairs, and they had an outside patio where you go out there and you freebase cocaine with the torch and the pipe and everything else that you rent from up in the rooftop. That's what it is. So everybody act like, oh, but Mike was smoking, man. Listen, man. Everybody was smoking. You was getting money, you was smoking. Majority of the people, we ain't gonna say everybody, majority of the people that was getting money, they was smoking. You understand what I'm saying? Freebase. This before crack. So we ain't talking about 2000, the 90s, 2010. I'm giving y'all history. So pay attention. Instead of trying to hate on the joint, like I said, I got receipts for everything, man. Instead of trying to hate on the joint, just sit back and get the history lesson and learn what the hell went on. Got it? All right, so we're going to stop all these games. I'm just trying to give it to you raw so that you know what time it is. You know what I mean? And y'all just got to understand. Then we also had the Disco Fever. Big shout out to Sal. The Disco Fever in the Bronx. They had the back room where you used to go up there and used to freebase too, out in the open. So you never know who you see up there freebasing and sniffing cocaine, Yeah, then we also had the Hilltop. The Hilltop was right up the street. My old heads know what I'm talking about. But the youngins, they jump out there because they don't really know this is new to them. So when they hear certain things, they just and run with it. But it's all good. It's good content and good controversy. So I'm just giving y'all content on the history, of the dope era. All right? Because I done ran in it from I was knee deep. So just sit back and enjoy the joint, man, and stop trying to find reasons to criticize. That's not cool. You know what I mean? I mean, when the teacher is speaking, you listen. That's the problem. A lot of people, they don't listen to learn, they listen to talk. But you have to learn to listen to learn. And that's it. How you think I got so wise? I didn't cut off and try and disrespect my elders when they was giving me jewels. When my elders give me jewels, even when you youngins give me jewels, I listen. Like I was saying, G-O-D, damn. One of my people in my comments said, nah, you black people say got, G-O-T. I learned from them. I didn't know because I've been in prison 30 years. So, we were still saying got, you know what I mean? You follow me? So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Stop trying to criticize everything, man, on YouTube, man. Like I said, the purpose of YouTube, let me give you all a history. The purpose of Facebook, Zuckerberg created that in order to reunite, families and friends and schoolmates. That was Facebook. Then you had Instagram, where people go up there to floss. They borrow other people's jewelry, clothes, money, even get fake money. Go stand up in front of other people's cars, take pictures, and you can be all you want to be on Instagram. No disrespect to the people on Instagram, because there's a whole lot of people out there getting money on Instagram. But I'm just letting y'all know what the social media is about. So Facebook is the reunite, Instagram is the floss, and TikTok is to promote your business. And then you got YouTube. The most common words used on YouTube is how to and how do. How do I use the Rodecaster Pro 2? How do I write a book? How do I learn about the freebase era? How do I learn, to fix a car? That's what YouTube is. And when you put those how-to videos on, you shut up. You know what I mean? That's it. And you listen. You don't listen to talk. Because that's when you show no disrespect. You don't know a fool until he opens his mouth. That's the first thing I learned on the street growing up. Because when I was young, every time somebody said something, I was, you see me, I like to talk already. So every time they open their mouth up and say something, I'm, blah, 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 and I'm going. I'm, blah, 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 and they like, yo, come on, man. We letting you hang with us already as it is. You a youngin', but you got to learn to listen, to learn, instead of feeling like you have to talk. You don't look any less ignorant if you don't say anything. A matter of fact, you look more intelligent when you don't say anything, because you don't know a fool until he opens his mouth. Only person could put their foot in their mouth is the person themselves, by what they say out their mouth. You understand? So like I said, I got receipts for everything. Cop the book of Rowan Harlem, watch the Vlad videos, enjoy the videos, and stop trying to look for faults, man. Go ask your aunts and uncle about the freebase era. Go ask your mother about the freebase era. Come on, family. We in this thing together, man. We not, come on. But like I said, that's how it is. But I don't mind. I'm just sitting here, I'm reading the comments and I'm just laughing, because I know if anybody asks they elders, they're going to tell them, man, the OG talking some real OG shit. You know what I mean? Because everywhere we had a base house. And it was elite to freebase cocaine. Don't get caught up on the government labeling it crack so they can lock up the blacks, because I got caught up under that and got locked up for 26 and a half years with a life plus 20 sentence. Because they fooled y'all to say lock them up and throw away the key, when somebody is willingly spending their money to get high. And I'm not forcing the pipe in their hand. I'm not forcing anything on them. They came to me willingly spending their money, man. But they want to give me life for somebody doing what they want to do. Why they didn't lock up Arm & Hammer baking soda? We couldn't make the crack without the baking soda. So that should have been our co-defendants. You used the baking soda to make the crack. So why they didn't lock up Arm & Hammer? Why they not on it? Kmart. You know what I mean? I ain't talking about Walmart. I'm talking about Kmart and 7-Eleven back in the days. They sold baking soda. And I used to go in there. You can even look at my trial transcripts. They ran up in one of the houses in Virginia. We had 100 boxes of baking soda. I got it from somewhere. I got it from the local 7-Eleven and the local Kmart. So why they wasn't on my indictment? Think about that. Think about that. Baking soda is used to cook cocaine. I go in the store and I buy 20 boxes of baking soda and nobody say nothing to the people selling me the baking soda. But that's why now when they making the fentanyl or whatever it is that they using, where they go in the store and they say when they buy certain, chemicals that they use to make methamphetamines or whatever, they got to report it to the government. And you can't sell X amount of boxes. But they allowed them to sell as many boxes of baking soda as they wanted. Come on, my nigga, don't get fooled up into this. Use your own mind and don't let the government and the media dictate what it is. And all you social media people, I respect all the platforms. You know what I mean? But we don't need to try and eat each other back out, my brother. We definitely don't need to do that. Like I said, I'm on Instagram at Unique Mecca Audio at Instagram. If anybody want to holler at me, got anything that they don't like, don't agree with, or whatever, we don't need to put it in comments, because that's for suckers. That's suckers and keyboard gangsters, and I know we dealing with men. So what I'm saying is, DM me at Unique Mecca Audio, and we go from there. If you want me on your platform, DM me at Unique Mecca Audio, and we go from there. I'm accessible, and I'm here for anybody that's trying to do the right thing. But we don't need to eat each other back out because we don't agree with something or we didn't know something. I've been gone 30 years. So what I'm speaking on is what happened over 30, 40 years ago on the streets of America. All this was buried treasure that I'm giving you. Enjoy the jewels instead of trying to criticize and ridicule the jewels for views. Because that's the new thing out here now, views. If somebody say something, you go against them and, you try and get your little views up. But come on, family, we don't do that. We don't need to do that. Like I said, I'm here, man. I respect all of y'all, man. I respect all the platforms, Big shout out. I just want to tap in to give y'all that, man. Enjoy your weekend. Let's hope they put this video up and don't start no crap. All right?